From the Jeannie Hayes Virtual Studio, this is Marquette Now.
Good evening, I'm Isabel Tussel.
And I'm Rakaya Hatch. Welcome to Marquette Now.
We have breaking news tonight. The Dean of Business Administration has been killed in a car crash.
Marquette Now reporter Alexa Gerardo joins us live from outside Strass Hall with details. Alexa?
Isabel and Rakaya, Joseph Daniels was killed after being hit by a car at 10th and Wisconsin last night. Police say that he was crossing the intersection east to west when a car driving northbound hit him. The Milwaukee Fire Department transported him to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. The 20-year-old woman driving the vehicle stayed at the scene. She has been arrested for suspicion of operating while intoxicated. Daniels was just named Dean of the College of Business Administration in January, after serving as acting dean since May. He had a 30-year career at Marquette and was a longtime professor of economics. He is credited for bringing a new vision to the college. He was 60 years old. Funeral arrangements are pending. Marquette officials say they will let students and staff know when details become available. Back to you, Isabel and Rakaya.
Thanks, Alexa. The accident has many across campus in a state of shock.
In a campus-wide email, President Michael Lovell said that Daniels was a campus fixture for more than 30 years, and he was honored to call Daniels his friend. Lovell credits Daniels with taking Marquette business to new heights, and he was instrumental in inspiring a new vision for the college. Sydney Sizon has reaction from others on campus.
Today, Strass Hall went quiet. The home of the College of Business Administration was without its dean, Joe Daniels. He died in a hit-and-run crash on campus Tuesday night. Business classes were canceled, leaving students with time to reflect on their dean's passing.
And it just really hits that, somebody that was really important to the business school is no longer here with us.
The university offered counseling and campus ministry services to grieving students, faculty, and staff.
I think it's totally beneficial, and I think people should really take advantage of it, especially because you don't know what else is going on in people's lives.
For sophomore Macy Schock, the loss hit on a personal level. Daniels was her mentor, teacher, and friend.
He was my teacher freshman year, and we got relatively pretty close. I would always answer questions in class, and we got pretty close, and he always said, I acted as a daughter towards him, so we got really close, so I just kind of wanted to pay my respects.
For others, attending the memorial service was a way to pay tribute to a leader they never met but admired.
And so to see and to feel the presence of God was a wonderful feeling to see at this memorial service.
Tomorrow, Strass Hall will again fill with students. While Joe Daniels will not be walking among them, his legacy will be in their classrooms, programs, and future careers.
He was a good example.
Reporting for the Marquette Wire, I'm Sydney Sizon alongside Chelsea Johanning.
This is the second car accident on Marquette's campus in the past 4 days.
On Saturday afternoon, a Nissan crashed into the back of a city bus in front of Rainer Memorial Library. The car began smoking seconds after it hit the back of the bus. The driver was handcuffed and put in an MUPD car after he tried to flee the scene. MUPD officials did not give us any more information at the scene. There are no Marquette-affiliated injuries.
There are no cases so far on campus, but 15 people in Wisconsin are being monitored for the coronavirus. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services says one of the cases has come back as positive and 13 negative. One test result is still pending. The confirmed case is in Dane County. There are no confirmed or suspected cases on Marquette's campus or the greater Milwaukee area.
The campus climate study is now live for Marquette faculty and students. This is the second time Marquette is conducting a campus climate survey. The last time was in 2015. Administrators say the goal is to identify action steps necessary to support the university's guiding values. The survey is available from February 10th to February 21st. Those who complete the survey have the opportunity to win prizes.
Black History Month is the annual celebration of the achievements of African Americans in U.S. history.
Every year, there's a central theme created to educate the public on current and past social issues in the Black community. For 2020, the theme is African Americans and the Vote.
Reporter Malaya Sago looks at how Marquette explores this theme.
One vote doesn't really make a difference, but it can, like a group, like a massive amount can.
The theme for Black History Month this year is African Americans and the Vote. 2020 marks 150 years of the 15th Amendment granting voting rights to African Americans. Marquette political science student Richard Naboozer says that although African Americans had the legal right to vote, they were still deprived of that opportunity.
The Jim Crow era, so even though African Americans got the right to vote through the Civil War amendments, that still didn't change locally what was going on in the South. So there was many ways in which local Southern districts would make ways in order to disenfranchise African Americans from voting. You know, sometimes it was literacy tests, sometimes it was poll tax in which African Americans who couldn't afford to pay to vote, they would be charged exuberant fees and such until, everything happened down in Selma and then the Voting Rights Act was finally passed.
With the 2020 election around the corner, Naboozer also says that the Black vote has also been and continues to be crucial in America.
I remember Malcolm X saying that in 1962-3, where he was saying that African Americans, now that they have the right to vote, they should use this vote crucially as a swing vote, because if you have one opposing side that doesn't care about you and you have another opposing side that doesn't care about you, then you are kind of the deciding factor. You can use that vote to get them to swing in your favor.
According to the Pew Research Center, in the 2016 election, the Black voter turnout declined for the first time in 20 years, losing about 750,000 voters.
Like I said before, just ignite that spirit of this person has the power to do something, to change something that affects you or people around you, and you have to hold them accountable. And you have to by not voting, you're not holding them accountable.
I'm Malaya Sago, Marquette Wire News.
Still to come on Marquette Now, you know how students on campus celebrate National Marquette Day, but have you wondered how students abroad join in on the fun?
We'll show you with a special report from Ireland. That and more when we come back. Welcome back to Marquette Now. Once again, I'm Rakaya Hatch.
And I'm Isabel Tusel.
While many students were disappointed that National Marquette Day was on a Sunday this year, one student embraced her school spirit overseas.
From Ireland, junior Margaret Cahill shares her experience with us.
Every Marquette student is familiar with the daily trek to classes, walking through town, passing hordes of students, and a towering church in the middle of campus. Just ask Marquette sophomore Emma Curtin, who makes this walk every day to get to her business class. But today, Emma isn't heading to Marquette Hall or the David A. Strass Business School because she's currently studying abroad in Galway, Ireland.
It's been really cool to be able to learn from other students here and just gain a new perspective.
But distance is not preventing Emma, nor any other Marquette students in Galway, from celebrating the biggest holiday of the year.
I love National Marquette Day because it's just a day where all my friends can get together and just celebrate the school I love.
And Marquette students like Emma and junior Zach Zigmit even spread this school spirit to others studying in Galway, even from other schools.
I'm so happy that I get to celebrate National Marquette Day with some Marquette students and some honorary Marquette students, and still have a good time even though I'm not at home.
Marquette students in Galway set up their own celebration, recruiting these honorary Marquette students, such as junior Jaden Barling, who attends school at St. Joseph University in Philadelphia.
It's crazy because my school doesn't have anything like this, so it's so much fun to feel included in a school that's not your own. So seeing the culture from Marquette University is great here.
But even from over 3,000 miles away, the snacks keep coming, fun games bring life to the party, and everyone has their eyes on Marquette basketball's win against Butler.
Happy holidays.
From National University of Ireland, Galway, I'm Margaret Cahill, Marquette Wire News.
Just like those abroad, students on campus are still catching up from all of the festivities that took place on National Marquette Day.
There was a pre-game pep rally and brunch for students to celebrate Sunday morning. Afterwards, students poured into Pfizer Forum to watch the Marquette men's basketball team defeat the Butler Bulldogs. You may have noticed colorful butterfly stickers all around campus. The butterflies signify Marquette's annual Mission Week celebration. The Marquette website says last week's event encouraged students to see the beauty of God's presence in all things. The university hosted a variety of speakers and activities to unite the Jesuit faith at Marquette.
The Residence Hall Association is hosting an all-campus blood drive this week. They are partnering with the Department of Physician Assistant Studies and the Blood Center of Wisconsin. You'll be able to donate or volunteer on Friday. If interested, contact the Residence Hall Association. Appointment or walk-ins are welcome. Speaking of National Marquette Day, we had a snowstorm this Sunday.
You are right, we did. And we have Ben Wells here to tell us about this week's upcoming weather.
Thank you, guys. Well, to be honest, if I had to describe the weather in a couple words right now, it's snowing, it's cold, it's not that great. Well, as for right now, it's 35 degrees with humidity at 78%. Precipitation forecasted about 80% with winds coming up from the west at 11 miles per hour. Let's look at the state forecast for right now. Overnight, we're going to be expecting those negatives all the way up north, such as in Superior and Minocqua and Eau Claire. But as for in the Milwaukee area, the Marquette area, it'll be a nice warm 12 degrees. Let's look at tomorrow's highs. Over there up in the north, staying consistent with the trend, over in the single digits, up in Minocqua and Eau Claire. And as you go over to the Milwaukee area, it'll be the warmest city in the state at 15 degrees. You can expect tonight with 1 to 3 inches of snow likely, unfortunately, with winds coming from the northwest from 15 to 25 miles per hour. As for tomorrow, cold. I bet you didn't expect that. Scattered flurries before noon and then partly cloudy with a high of 15 degrees, humidity around 65%, and a precipitation around 30. Let's look at your weekend, Marquette, your Valentine's Day weekend. As for Friday, expect a lot of sun, but still staying consistent with that cold weather going into Saturday and Sunday. However, it's going to get warmer, above freezing, 35 degrees, and even on Monday, going to 41 degrees with expected showers, and then reality stepping back in on Tuesday, going down to 37 degrees with a low of 24 degrees. That's all for weather. Stay tuned for sports.
Welcome back to Marquette Now. I'm Jackson Gross with your Marquette Sports Update. Men's basketball is finally ranked in the Associated Press Top 25 poll for the first time this season after a huge conference victory over number 19 Butler on Sunday by a score of 76-57. Shane Hogan recaps the National Marquette Day excitement at Pfizer Forum.
There's 3 words that define the biggest day on the Marquette calendar. National Marquette Day. And this year, the Golden Eagles hosted the number 19 ranked Butler Bulldogs on Sunday. Marquette came ready to play, pretty much controlling the first half thanks to their defense and that loud National Marquette Day sellout crowd.
It's a great atmosphere here inside Pfizer Forum for the real National Marquette Day. As you can see, the fans are here, they're coming out loud. It's a great atmosphere inside the building. Even though last week was unofficial National Marquette Day, today's the day that counts.
Yeah, the fans were incredible. It was so fun playing an atmosphere like that. And you know, they're truly the X factor. You know, they're the sixth man on our team. Is every time we have a home game, the fans are incredible. Pfizer is an amazing place to play, and when we have amazing fans and the student sections going crazy, it just makes it that much more fun.
Brendan Bailey gave the crowd plenty of reasons to cheer, nailing 4 threes, ending the night with 16 points and 8 rebounds. Kobe McEwen also chimed in with 16 points on the night, including some huge shots down the stretch to close out the game and give Marquette a 76-57 victory. Marcus Howard did end up with 17 points, but didn't have his best game. And when guys like him and Sakar Annam aren't shooting well, Coach Wojo knows how important it is for others to step up.
It was a total team effort. And Sakar and Marcus have bailed us out, and we've ridden their coattails on so many occasions. Other guys really stepped up and made huge plays. And I'm very, very proud of them for that.
Don't look now, but Marquette has won 6 of their last 7, playing their best basketball of the season, giving its fans lots to celebrate. Reporting alongside Amy Galashewski from Pfizer Forum, I'm Shane Hogan, Marquette Wire Sports.
Marquette is now 17-6 overall and 7-4 in Big East play. The Golden Eagles look to extend their winning streak at 4 games tonight at Villanova. Tip-off is at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. And just a quick update from New Jersey, Creighton is holding on late against Seton Hall 73-68. Meanwhile, after losing Friday but winning on Sunday, the women's basketball team has dropped to 3rd place in the conference with a win 67-57 over at St. John's Sunday. Head coach Megan Duffy's team is 18-6 on the season and 9-4 in league play. The Golden Eagles return home this weekend to face Xavier and Butler. Switching over to lacrosse, both the men's and women's schedules are officially underway. Under new head coach Andrew Stimmel, the men's team has yet to lose a game after winning its home opener against Bellarmine on Saturday. Shane Hogan reports from Valley Fields.
That's right, Marquette men's lacrosse is back. The Golden Eagles hosted the Bellarmine Knights in the home opener on Saturday. The start could not have been better for Marquette as it jumped out to a quick 7-0 lead in just the first quarter.
I just think guys are starting to play with confidence, and some of these younger guys are just kind of just learning how to play with each other, and they're getting used to and adjusted to the college game. I think they're excited to play in front of the home crowd. I think they shared the ball really well. I thought we did a great job with the face-off X in that first 15 minutes. We did a great job defensively, making one stops like we talked about, finishing, getting the ball up off the ground, and then pushing transition. So,
however, that inexperience showed when Bellarmine battled back and got right back in the game. The Knights went on a 10-4 run after the first quarter, including 2 goals in the final minute 20 of the game, getting them within only 1 score of Marquette's lead. But that last surge wasn't enough as Marquette secured the 11-10 victory, in part thanks to 6 points from senior midfielder Connor McClellan.
It was just all the guys around on the offense, just moving the ball, and luckily they were feet in the middle and the ball was going in the net. And yeah, everybody was working really well together, a lot of ball movement, a lot of communication. That's exactly what we want out there on offense.
And even though Marquette almost blew their big lead, they still got the win, and that's what matters. Coach Stimmel is proud of how his team responded to that tough stretch.
Really proud, really proud. I mean, there's a ton of guys in big moments out there that are freshmen, sophomores, and even some of our older guys just haven't played that much. So we think those minutes at the end of the day are going to come into handy down the line. We understand it's not easy. There's a ton of pressure in those moments, and we've been really working with our guys just to work through that adversity, take it on, know it's coming, and understand how to respond to it. So I was proud of how they responded, made a couple big stops there at the end to pull out the win.
From Valley Fields, Shane Hogan, Marquette Wire Sports.
Well, unfortunately, that's all I have for sports, but don't go anywhere because Andy Matei will be right back with Down to the Wire.
Welcome back to Marquette Now. I'm Isabel Tussel.
And I'm Rakaya Hatch. We're back with another episode of Down to the Wire with Annie Matei. Annie is joined by reporter Joseph Beard to discuss his recent story on Marquette's relationship with the LGBTQ+ community in the past decade.
Thank you so much for being here, Joseph. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Annie?
I'm good. So tell me about some of the timeline of events that happened with the LGBT community in the last decade with Marquette.
Sure. So I covered 3 main things throughout my story. First being in 2010, Marquette rescinded the dean offer to Jody O'Brien, a openly lesbian professor at Seattle University. And then in 2015, Marquette officially created its LGBTQ+ Resource Center. And then kind of the center of my whole story revolves around last year in August, Marquette combined the LGBTQ+ Resource Center into the Office of Engagement Office of Engagement and Inclusion.
So tell me a little bit more about this 2010 dean rescindment.
Mm-hmm. So Marquette, on March 30th in 2010, Marquette sent an offer to Jody O'Brien to become the dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. And then less than 2 months later, they rescinded her offer And there was a lot of backlash from students and various members of the Marquette community that were concerned that it was discriminatory and due to her sexuality, whereas Marquette said that it was the decision was made because they were concerned about some of her writings, her scholarly writings weren't in line with the Catholic Church or Marquette's mission.
And then you also talked about this merge that happened under the Office of Engagement and Inclusion. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure, yeah. So as part of a cost-saving plan, Marquette combined the LGBTQ+ Resource Center under the OEI as a branch alongside Greek life and student activities. And there was concern from a lot of students and alumni that it would affect daily operations at the Resource Center.
And then you kind of briefly touched on this, but what are the concerns that people have over the university relations?
Right, yeah. So a lot of students were worried that because the Resource Center was put on the same sort of budget and organization as long-standing student traditions like Greek life and student activities, that it would kind of not get the same consideration.
Thank you so much for being here, Joseph. That's all we have time for. Back to you, Isabel and Rakaya.
Thanks, Annie. That's all we have time for tonight, but tune in next week for more Marquette news. I'm Isabel Tussel.
And I'm Rakaya Hatch. Good night, Marquette.